Ấn Độ thì liệu là các thủ bên phía đội chủ nhà có được cơ hội để phục thù hay không đây? Thường thì những trận đấu mang tính chất gọi là thủ tục như thế này, Hồng Kông sẽ là người đã chắc ăn hơn anh em ạ. Họ sẽ muốn có một chiến thắng an toàn chứ không liều mình trước Ấn Độ. Trong khi đó thì cao độ bên phía đội chủ nhà lại hoàn toàn thoải mái trên trận đấu đầu này, tại vì họ bị loại 100% rồi, không có một cánh cửa nào mở ra dành cho Ấn Độ thời điểm này cả. Và đây là tổ trọng tài chính của chúng ta ngày hôm nay. Tổ trọng tài đều là người Thái anh em ơi. Trọng tài chính đó chính là ông Bumekiat, sẽ là người cầm cân nảy mực trò xuyên suốt 90 phút trận đấu đầu ngày hôm nay. Và kế bên sẽ là hai trọng tài biên là Rawut Nakarit và ông Nofuan. Và trọng tài thứ tư là ông Baxri sẽ là những người hỗ trợ cho ông Bumekiat ngày hôm nay có được những quyết định chuẩn xác nhất. Ok. Rồi, chúng ta sẽ cùng tiến vào trận đấu này thôi anh em ạ. Anh em nào chưa đăng ký nhanh tay đăng ký nha. Đây chúng ta cùng điểm qua một tí về những cái tên ra quân của cả hai cao thủ bên phía đội chủ nhà Ấn Độ ngày hôm nay, với sự dẫn dắt của người thầy chính là huấn luyện viên trưởng ông Igor Sipmak. Họ sẽ ra quân với những cái tên trong khu gỗ sẽ là Tuấn Thành Sinh mã số 1, cũng là người mà ban đội trưởng. Những cái tên chơi phía trên sẽ là Ali mã số 4, Aquia mã số 8, Beke mã số 2, Chang Tê mã số 7, Kolako mã số 17, Jingan mã số 5, Misra mã số 6, Sinh mã số 9, Sinh mã số 12 và William mã số 10. Phía bên kia chiến tuyến thì Hồng Kông với sự dẫn dắt của huấn luyện viên trưởng đó chính là ông John Anderson. Họ sẽ ra quân với những cái tên trong khu gỗ sẽ là Thu Thành Phong mã số 1. Những cái tên chơi phía trên sẽ là Pleda mã số 9, Rosten mã số 21, Kamago mã số 11, Chang Shinichi mã số 17, Gerbit mã số 3, Jojo mã số 2, Lung No Hang mã số 12, Song Min Him mã số 23, đội trưởng Tan Chu Long mã số 6 và Won mã số 10 sẽ là những cái tên 22 cầu thủ trên sân để chuẩn bị bước vào trận đấu quyết định cuối cùng này dành cho cả hai đội anh em nha. Thời điểm này thì ở thể thức vòng loại Asian Cup 2027 ở mùa năm nay thì chỉ có 6 đội đầu bảng là giành quyền đi tiếp thôi. Hiện tại chúng ta cũng đang có một trận đấu diễn ra trước đó giữa bên phía Việt Nam và Malaysia, cũng đã đá gần hết giai đoạn trận đấu rồi, phút 75 rồi, và Việt Nam chúng ta giành xác suất đi tiếp. Thậm chí bây giờ đây chúng ta còn có một chiến thắng thuyết phục trước người Mã Lai với tỷ số là 3-0 tại sân vận động Thiên Trường nữa. Một trận đấu rất bùng nổ để giành được những sự tự tin để bước vào vòng đấu tiếp theo. Trong đó thì cả Ấn Độ cùng với Hồng Kông, đây là trận đấu mang tính chất gọi là danh dự của cả hai, vì dường như là cả hai là xong xuôi rồi anh em ạ. Đây, cho nên là giai đoạn này thì gần như là Việt Nam chúng ta sẽ có được tấm vé đi tiếp rồi. Ngoài ra thì ở những bảng đấu còn lại của Asian Cup năm nay thì ở bảng A sẽ là tấm vé quyết định sau khi mà cả Tajikistan và Philippines sẽ có trận đấu cuối cùng, và họ đang đồng điểm nhau là 13 điểm, cho nên là giai đoạn này vẫn sẽ phải chờ. Vào lúc 21 giờ là tầm nửa tiếng nữa thì Tajikistan và Philippines sẽ có trận đấu quyết định. Một trận đấu không khác gì một tấm vé đi tiếp chung kết dành cho cả hai cả. Còn với bảng B thì cũng chưa xác định được, khi mà Liban và Yemen khoảng cách nó cũng chỉ là 2 điểm mà thôi. Đấy. Và Liban và Yemen cũng sẽ có trận đấu vào ngày 4 tháng 6. Vào ngày 4 tháng 6 để quyết định tấm vé đi tiếp. Còn bảng C này thì gần như là Singapore sẽ cầm vé đi tiếp, tại vì Singapore thì sẽ chỉ gặp Bangladesh thôi, rất yếu. Đấy, Bangladesh vừa rồi Việt Nam chúng ta có trận giao hữu và nổ vào lưới 3-0 đấy anh em. Bangladesh yếu lắm, cho nên là Singapore sẽ dễ dàng có được chiến thắng trước Bangladesh thôi. Còn với Hồng Kông trận đấu đầu ngày hôm nay họ sẽ cầm quyền tử quyết. Nếu như câu chuyện là để mà được đi tiếp trận này thì Hồng Kông sẽ phải thắng được Indo rất đầm thì may ra mới có vé đi tiếp được, tại vì họ đang có được hiệu suất là dương 1. Họ đang có hiệu suất là dương 1 về bàn thắng bàn thua. Trong đó Singapore đang là dương 3. Đấy. Cho nên là nếu mà muốn đi tiếp từ trận này, Hồng Kông phải thắng. Đấy, và thậm chí thắng với cách biệt là 2-0 hoặc là 3-0 để an toàn với tấm vé đi tiếp. Và trận sau với một điều kiện thêm nữa là Singapore phải thua. Trận này 2 bàn được anh em ơi. Trận này tôi nghĩ là sẽ làm nổ một cái tài to dành cho anh em. Cho nên là anh em cứ thoải mái đánh tài đi. Tôi vẫn đang đợi một cái tài nó hạ xuống để vào.
Especially Everton as well, Pulasta. Not the shortest of people, a winger who's 6 feet tall. It's not usually how they come. You usually find stout, strong wingers that use their pace, but Everton has all of it and more.
Beautiful play this. Manveer's got Ryan Williams in the middle. Ryan Williams! Now the passport is stamped with a goal. The transformation from Socceroo to a Blue Tiger is complete. And every Indian football fan can say, Ryan Williams is one of our own. 1-0 to India.
Beautiful move constructed by India. Laid on a platter by Manveer for Ryan, who you can finally also say Ryan Williams has taken off. And what a way to sign off onto Indian colours with a beautiful first time finish, sending the keeper the wrong way. Awareness from Manveer, and Ryan Williams has arrived for the Indian national team in under 4 minutes.
One touch, one goal.
What a thing of beauty, Pulasta. What a way to start your career in the Indian national team colours.
And the headline has been written, come what may. Stadium, but India now need to keep their head in the game as Hong Kong send the first cross in, not enough pace on that. What a start, Robin.
Brilliant, exciting start. Anwar Ali also with a very important interception, because every time you score here, that's when you're the most vulnerable, and India have to be aware of this Hong Kong attacking side now.
He's trying to open up a shooting position. Everton Camargo wanted a free kick but didn't get it. Here's Manveer beautifully reversing to the path of Liston, inviting a challenge. Liston Colasso was tempted to take a shot. It was a narrow angle. With a start like that, no one will deny him. As he's on it again, slips away though. And Liston just trying to squeeze it towards his club teammate Manveer. Just for those watching and demanding positive football from Khalid Jamil for a while now, just the tactical shift from the way he was playing at the Kafa to then going into a little bit of a shell, Robin. Couldn't really understand why he went defensive in a few games. But look at this lineup, at the 4-2-4. Yes, it's risky. Yes, there are not enough new players you'd like to see. But at the same time, there is intent in the front four.
And there's quickness as well, Pula. You got to remember that you got Manveer with pace, you got Liston Chante, and then add Ryan Williams to it. It's a very attacking, a very pacey front 4 or 3, as of what you want to call it. But this is great to see from Khalid. He's risking it. We know he's a defensively sound coach, but again, this is brilliant to see attacking football from the Indian national team.
And fluid as well, because all those players can interchange positions with ease. As Manveer lobs it towards Chante, it was cut out. Picked up by Abhimithay. Will get a throw-in for his efforts.
When you speak of pace, you have to also count in Abhimithay in that conversation. You got Akash Mishra, yes, coming back from injury, but he's also got pace. The composure of Apuya in the middle of the park. You've got a centre back who can shift in or now dropping into a defensive midfielder position in Anwar Ali. So this is a brilliant attacking lineup from Khalid Jamil.
Bright idea from Williams again. Manveer just couldn't shrug off Oliver Gerbig, the big number 3 who's marking him. And the secret of breaking down Hong Kong, it lies in the channels between the back 3, in the little gullies of space.
But this is good to see, Pulasta. When you put pressure on this Hong Kong side, they can't find the gaps, they have to play it long, and that plays into the hands of the Indian team. You've got Sandesh and Rahul Beke in that centre-back position who'll be very happy to deal with long balls. It's the pace, just like Hong Kong's got space down the channels, it's the pace down the Hong Kong channel that could cause issues to the Indian team as well.
Good pass from Chingan to quickly find Liston Colasso as Manveer drives wide and waits for support. Akash Mishra needs more whip on his delivery. Had to wait a long time before that game against Bangladesh.
Akash Mishra back to flying. Back to flying as he always does. So that's good work from Akash, just to also be committed to the process, wait for his opportunity.
Beautiful from Liston, wowing the crowd. He tries to take on Gerbig again. Manveer was alongside. Looks like a slippery surface in Kochi.
That's good work from Liston Colasso. Firstly with the nutmeg, just trying to play that ball out to his club teammate. Just not enough weight on that for Manveer. But that's good work again. As you mentioned, pull out space down the channels for the Indian team against this Hong Kong side. And India making good use of that at the moment.
Only the 3rd goal in 5 matches and 10 minutes of this qualifying campaign for India. That's been the problem. Scoring goals, replacing the presence of Sunil Chhetri. But slowly the side seems to be coming out of a shadow that has been cast so wide over Indian football in the best ways possible.
I think, but also when you speak about shadows, Pulasta, it's also, that this is going to be a new horizon for Indian football, and we can see with the fluidity that the attacking front 4 is now bringing onto this team.
Hong Kong to fight back quickly. It's those wide areas though, Robin. Yes, it's easy to get carried away after that early goal, and a few moves from Liston and Manveer, all of that is positive. But just in terms of analysis, Hong Kong do look dangerous every time they find even the tiniest bit of space. India, however, look good on the break.
With the pace that India has, they will always want to hit teams on the counter attack. But with the physicality that Manveer can bring, I think another addition to being overcritical for Manveer is maybe he holds up the ball a little more, get the likes of Ryan Williams, Changte and Liston Colasso to join the attack. Abhimite on the overlap can join with his pace on the counters. So maybe that's something that Manveer can work upon when he's playing for the national team as an out-and-out number 9. But apart from that, I think the movement up front is what India should be really happy with. Khalid Jamil did mention that, yes, we know we're lacking goals, but we have to work on it. And with the first 4 minutes, it looks like he has worked on it.
It was a well-constructed goal. The fact that Ryan Williams got the final touch was obviously on everyone's mind and will be. But just the sheer construction, the way it was built, and that is something that will also be watched over and over again. And hopefully this is not one of those flash-in-the-pan moments and continues. International football has been slightly limited over the past year or so. I was reading a report on how head coaches are not getting as many games as they used to before, not in every region. So there's not enough time as there used to be to work on a team and the plans to take on other sides. That said, it's always going to remain the challenge at this level.
I think we can maybe, combat that issue with a number of friendly games that India might be able to play. Our teams, the white teams, be it smaller opponents. For me, I think it's about, finding patterns of play for the national team. The opponents can become stronger as they go on or lesser as the games keep coming. But the main point is to make sure that the Indian team can come together on a number of occasions, as we watch this replay of a foul on Manveer, another attacking opportunity, but a number of opportunities where India can play friendlies, moving on to just the boys getting refreshed in their head with the patterns of play for the Indian national team.
Now once again, Manveer winning that free kick, just dropping slightly wider into the channel, getting the ball, inviting the challenge. Seems like a good plan so far. Changte's on this. Into a teasing area, but not enough pace on it. Sandesh Jenkins also just pointed towards Anwar Ali for not continuing his run at the far post.
That was clearly visible. Changte with that ball towards the far post. Anwar Ali should have just kept making that run, even if it's to knock the ball back towards the goal. But maybe again, you're 14 minutes into the game. India happy with a 1-0 lead, which is never enough. But they have to keep at it, stay focused, stay concentrated, and keep staying ahead in this game.
Lovely shift out wide. Everton Camargo with his left boot. Easy for Gurpreet.
Akash will have to be a little careful of that from Everton Camargo. That's going to be his trait throughout the 90 minutes. He's playing as an inverted winger. He'll want to keep coming back onto his left foot. Just has to make sure if he can take him down the channel, Akash Mishra, that will be even helpful for the likes of Rahul Beke and Sandesh to deal with those crosses.
Interesting how Changte is being used as well, dropping into midfield. A little bit of the Kratky effect in a positive way, where he's learned to get into those centre circle areas and take some pressure off the midfielders, even though everyone likes to watch him out wide, which is where he's actually playing this season, even for his club.
We all know Changte as an out-and-out winger, but I think what's the luxury that Changte has right now is the fact that he's got Abhi Mitai on that same wing. So when he does cut in, you've got Abhi Mitai on the overlap.
And Bleda does well. Just trying to stitch things up. No real impact yet from Barak and Wong Wai, the two central midfielders who've come up against Apuya and Anwar Ali so far. A lot of predicted lineups. Saw Jeekson being involved in that pivot.
I think that's good competition, Pula. Even Jeekson, who can play as that defensive role, and now Anwar Ali unlocking another position for himself. That's great competition, even at club level, that Anwar Ali can play that position.
Changte's picked it up. Williams. Everyone's arriving. Manveer. Lalianzuala. Changte. Wonderful block. Excellent play. Shifting and shape-shifting India.
This attacking lineup from India is getting hard to control. Great ball movement. Changte finding Ryan Williams with that pass. Ryan Williams aware of Manveer, and that brilliant awareness from Manveer as well to find Changte on the first touch. Obviously on his weaker foot, he would have loved to come back to his left, Changte. But nonetheless, another corner for India. The attack still continues.
Changte's delivery, lots of pace on this as well. Manveer just trying to break it, pardon me. He's trying to flick it goalwards. That'll be a foul. Williams on Camargo.
Ryan Williams
over eager to win that ball back. Everton Camargo also knew that the pressure is coming on him. Brilliant work. What a start for Ryan Williams though. 4 minutes into his debut, getting himself on the score sheet, and a much needed breath of fresh air and relief for the Indian team as well to get that first goal.
And no look pass, just to add some flair to the way Hong Kong have been playing so far, which has been quite dull. It's such a unique position in Asian football to be involved in Indian football as a fan. If the side plays well, the first feeling is, why haven't we been playing like this in the past? And if the side does not perform, you wonder why they don't perform on certain days and certain games. It's still 1-0 here, but the way they've been playing, this is the demand. The demand is not always results. The demand is, can we play a slightly modern attacking brand of football?
That's what an opinion is, Pula. Everybody has one, be it right or wrong. Everybody loves to have one as well. And usually when you have something good in front of you, you always want the grass that's greener on the other side. But according to me, the grass is always greener where you water it. So to be honest, this team, this newfound Indian team, has to be given time. These boys are the best of the Indian team right now, best of the Indian Super League right now, as Khalid Jamil said it himself. And that jersey will always be available if you put in the effort, put in the hard work. So always up for grabs, always keep working hard, and your opportunity might come. If you think you can do better than the lot that's in front of you, prove it to the coach.
A huge criticism when the squad was initially announced. And one can say, in all honesty, some of it had logic as well. The likes of Gooo or Ricky Shabong or Lung Dame or some of the players. People come up with, why not this player? It's understandable, Robin, but that kind of debate is healthy.
100%. You always need a debate. You always need another person pushing the person on the team as well. So everybody that's on the national team always needs another name attached to himself to say, if I don't perform, the next person right behind me is on my heels waiting for that opportunity. So I think that opinion, that pressure, that question is great. But you have to keep playing consistently. We've seen in the past as well, one good season and people start talking about national team. But you also have to remember there are players that have proved in and day out in the Indian team circuit of why they belong there, be it at club level as well. So a season doesn't define you, a season doesn't change anything in my opinion.
It would have been good to have more midfield depth. Thapa missing out because of an injury. Of course, Apuya and Thapa creating an excellent partnership in midfield for Mohun Bagan Super Giant.
Absolutely, I think the Thapa of old is back. And we'd love to see him back on the national team as well. But in the meantime, Apuya doing a good job. Abhimite putting on the pressure on the line as well. Not backing down from a challenge, not backing down from a battle on that wing.
Excellent player, Abhimite. He's having a cracking start to the ISL as well with his new club. Oh, it's a little loose, that pass, and Beke simply had to get his body in the way. Nothing given for it, but it's risky from Anwar Ali, who's had a couple of moments here and there which make him look a little nervous in the middle of the park.
Anwar Ali is still trying to find that weight on the ball and weight on the pass, playing in midfield. But Rahul Beke, a little lucky not to be given a foul against him, trying to stop the player without the ball being around him. But the referee on that occasion just letting it play on. Maybe he knows somewhere as well, players like Manuel Blera and Everton Camargo like to gain that foul, like to earn a foul towards their side, being a little clever, diving off the ball, on the ball. One of the reasons why maybe the referee let it continue as it went on.
Here's Williams for Changte on his left, looking for room, and the keeper has been found. Again, really good play between Williams and Changte.
That's good movement. Changte on the inside this time, Ryan Williams shifting his wing. This was the move earlier, Ryan Williams shifting his wing. Great little ball for Changte, wanting to cut onto his left. The first shot gets blocked, gets it off finally, but just could not go past the goalkeeper on that occasion. Waiting, trying to make space.
Yeah, Williams was also getting in position. Maybe Changte could have laid it off for him. Hong Kong will also employ the long throw.
Hong Kong to bring in the big boys like Alexander and Oliver as well to come into the box. It caused all sorts of problems to this Indian defense.
Chanchi Shinichi sends it in. Sent out almost immediately by Abhimithe. Hong Kong still trying to get a grip of this game, but in the last 5 minutes they've looked much better, creating these crossing opportunities. India's defence busy. Anwar Ali's touch. The touch back from Williams before the return ball for him. Manveer will wait for him to charge ahead. Williams looks into the box. Liston's arriving. It's just behind him. Interception from Apuya, who takes a look. Spun away in the air and out wide.
Williams involved. And then Apuya, as soon as he took that shot, Pulasta, he had the option of Changte right beside him. Could have maybe laid it off for him to run onto it with his left foot. But again, this is good work from India. Moving the ball fluidly amongst the attacking players, trying to find opportunity to double their lead.
A quick 1997 was the first high-profile tournament India played at this venue. The Nehru Cup was held in. Look at a shot. The record attendance, in fact, is from that particular game, India against Iraq, when 100,000 people attended unofficially. And of course, teams like Iceland and Oman have come here and beaten India as well. A Goodmanson hat-trick in 2001, just at the start of the new millennium. In 2013, saw India lose 4-2 against Palestine, and then, of course, the last game, as we mentioned, was against Turkmenistan, which India also lost after Jingan had opened the scoring. So first in Kochi is on the cards as well for the Indian national team. Apuya gives away this free kick.
Could be a day of many firsts for the Blue Tigers. 18 attempts in total to get a win, and they haven't been able to do so. Their first win for the 2027 Asia Cup qualifiers, the first home win for Khalid Jamil. So a night of many firsts. The first goal for Ryan Williams already ticked off. A few more to go, and there's a lot of time on this clock for Hong Kong to make it back, and also for India to maybe double their lead and get a bit of breathing space. But for now, they have a set piece to deal with, and hopefully they can keep this clean sheet, because Hearing Gurpreet earlier from his interviews, he really wants that clean sheet.
Well, Chan Shinichi with the delivery, disappointing. And Teke barely had to move. Well, another drinks break. It's a great chance to take a look at the wonderful goal that India have scored. And of course it had to be Ryan Williams. It's been such a long wait. It's been unfortunate to not have started a game earlier. But now that he has, he's instantly etched himself into history.
This is a brilliant move from India. Manveer just laying that ball onto the oncoming Ryan Williams, and what a way to finish that ball. Confident finish using the outside of his foot, sending it towards the bottom corner, sending the keeper the wrong way, using all his pace. And then Ryan Williams has finally taken off in the colours of the Blue Tigers.
Just the finish, Robin, and just the smartness. This is a left footer. He's just shown you don't always have to use your favoured foot. The goalkeeper is moving to one direction. Let me use apparently my weaker side and just put him off course. That is what Ryan Williams was thinking. It's a goal made in his head. He's used his mind. He's outsmarted the keeper, not just outplayed the ball on the pitch.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I keep saying he sent the keeper the wrong way, because we all know Ryan Williams left dominant. But at the same time, the keepers also studied what players are dominant on which foot. So finishing it with your right foot is also clever and confident in your own abilities. Sending the keeper the wrong way, making the keeper think twice before diving the next time. Now, which foot can you finish it with? So now even Hong Kong is thinking, this is Ryan Williams left-footed or right? That's a brilliant right-footed finish.
And Kochi just showing how important atmosphere can be in any sport when you're backing the national team. And there have been situations in the past where cities have simply not responded to the call from the sport to be there for them. Kochi has, as Manveer scampers away, waits for support. Changte is in the box. Here's Williams just around the edge of it. Akash Mishra has joined in. First time ball towards Manveer was cut out. He'll get another shy at it. Mishra once more. And again can't get it past the first man.
That's good pressure and also good defending from Singapore, just stopping, pardon me, good pressure and good defending from Hong Kong, just stopping all the pressure that the Indian attacking lineup is trying to put on them.
Apuya. Abhimite. Excellent strength for a diminutive fullback.
Almost good work from Abhimita, yes, showing physical strength, just getting outnumbered with defensive players coming down and dropping down for Hong Kong. But good work, not giving away, not giving up from a challenge, not backing down from a challenge, Abhimita. This is good intent from all the 11 on the pitch right now for India. Nobody's backing down from a challenge, everybody's up for a fight, and that's what you need sometimes.
Now they've had to deal with a lot. A lot of the criticism at times has been justified, but it's not just the feedback from the fans. It was the onset of a delayed football season. And the lack of enough action in the legs which kept on loading and loading for months until anything really kicked off. And so if they can keep it like this, or entertain a little more, then there are positives to take into the next game.
A 100%, Pula. Yes, there's been a delayed start, but everybody from the fans to the players will be happy that the season's back on and they'll want to continue this. Yes, they've waited for a long time for the season to start. Maybe that's the reason you could see a little more hunger and a little more desire from all the players to, keep playing football, keep doing what they love the most, which is playing, be it in any color, be it for club or country. And now all of it is paying off. The patience, the perseverance, the resilience, all of it.
Well defended. Excellent work from Apuya. A smart touch out wide for Abhimithe, as well as Anwar Ali moves it on before Akash Mishra scuffs it a little. Now a chance for a shot as well. Snapshot. And well wide.
Anwar Ali just not being able to control that ball, and then Akash Mishra trying to play that clever ball towards Manveer, and Ryan just not being able to get underneath that ball properly, or got too much on it, too much underneath that ball. Nonetheless, the shot off target. Gurpreet will be happy with it for the moment.
Chingan sets it up. Smart idea to try and put it into the path of Changte.
That's clever play from India, always keeping Changte or Liston, the farthest players forward, trying to use their pace, hit them on the counter, especially down the wings and down the channel. But that's good work to be hitting Hong Kong on the counter from the wings.
Bleda. Down the wings where Akash Mishra is ready to cut that out.
Akash not trying to take any risks. Could have maybe shielded that ball, let it run towards a goal kick. Decided to clear his lines. Not wanting to risk a corner. Probably there will be a little more happier to deal with a throw-in rather than a corner.
Camargo. It's good movement from Tangchun Lok, the captain, who created that opening out wide. Here he is again. This one easy for Gurpreet. A certain calmness at the back. And a no-risk policy. And then players to make runs forward. And players with pace. Changte beaten for strength. Committing a foul on Shinichi.
Changte just trying to flick that ball over, but just as you rightly mentioned, Pulasta just getting overpowered on that occasion.
Is that right wing where most of it is building up for Hong Kong. Barak. Decent delivery. Needed more pace for Sun Ming Him to trouble Gurpreet. Slight shade of a blue jersey, which has taken it out for a throw-in.
Got to give credit to both Akash and Abhimithe. They've kept the likes of Everton Camargo and everything that's come down the wings and the channels for Hong Kong. They've done a very good job to just make sure all the avenues and the doors are shut for Hong Kong to create anything meaningful down the wings.
No wins yet in this particular qualifying campaign. That's been a huge bone of contention in terms of whether India are getting it right on and off the pitch. A decision to bring in the pragmatic Khalid Jamil. Also, as usual, debated in circles whether he's the right man or not. And when it all started out to the Kafa, there was a lot of hope. Now, maybe sometimes head coaches can become safer than they really are when it's about the national team, when there's not enough chances to show what effect he can have on a team. But simplicity possibly is the need of the hour.
I think it's also for Khalid Jamil to understand the kind of players he's got onto his squad. Now he's probably understanding that he's got a lot of pace, a lot of attacking intended players, and he's wanting to use it to the best of their potentials. As a pragmatic coach, we know Khalid Jamil's usually heavily reliant on how his defensive teams play, but something also from club level football that we should be knowing about Khalid Jamil is you won't see many draws. Either he goes out and wins games or he loses them. So he's very clear with his identity. Either I'm going to defend or I'm going to attack you. And today he's chosen to attack this Hong Kong side, and he's got a goal to show for it as well.
And Lonchuk is slowly starting to assert himself in midfield for Hong Kong. Good delivery this. Header came in. Nothing too special for Gurpreet.
Hong Kong still trying to create ways down the channel. And finally, when a cross does come in, Everton Camargo, the man to deliver that. Wong Wei does get a touch to it, but couldn't find a teammate at the end of it. But that's good work. Gurpreet just plucking that through the air, making sure that India can continue their attack, or at least for the next 5 minutes take this lead into half-time.
It's also what happens when the other team starts testing India. What if the other team gets an equalizer? That response yet to be seen. And too many times India give away that first goal and they end up chasing a game rather than trying to control it. And when they have opened the scoring, as the game progresses, that focus, that concentration, those levels have dropped. And that is something that will be discussed in the dressing room at halftime.
I think that's where probably the changes might come into play. Stop. Do all these players, with the season the way it's going in Indian football, do all these players have the legs for 90 minutes? Some of these teams have had a shorter pre-season. Some of these teams have had no pre-season at all in Indian football. So what does Khalid Jamil do? Does he continue till the legs give off, or maybe make the changes at the right time to even take this 1-0 lead if it has to be so? Plus, you could also see, when India is moving the ball, especially Emmanuel Bleda up front is asking questions of his team as to why we've dropped back so much. He's chasing the ball in and around the middle of the park by himself on occasions and asking the question from his teammates as well, that are we not pressing them anymore? So there seems to be this pattern of play that even Hong Kong are still trying to find under the new coach.
Abhimithe with the ball in towards Liston Colasso. Headers off target, but good variety in the way India are trying to attack. Looks like a head injury for Jojo Alexander.
First time ball whipped it towards the far post. Liston does rise up, does get something on it, but just could not keep it on target.
Yeah, might have just cut himself a little in going up for that challenge. Should be quickly stitched up and stapled. Khalid Jamil's pre-match interview, short and sweet as usual, but he did mention that he's not really thinking too much about the way Hong Kong play. He said that in the detailed press conference, which happens the day before the game, that he wants to focus on what India can do. And a lot of head coaches actually just say that, but surely there is research and there is a lot of video being looked at. But at the same time, it might sound as if one doesn't care about the opposition. It's not such a bad thing, is it, Robin? In a game like this, how much do you think about the opposition? You just think about yourself, what the team can do better, how they can attack, how Ryan Williams and Changte, Liston, Manveer, all of these players can fit in.
That's always supposed to be a priority, Pulasa, what your team brings to the table when you go into a pre-match meeting or, a week into training, especially at the national camp where who your next opponent is and who you're facing. You do look at key battles, the way the team plays, what are some of the strengths, what are some of the weaknesses. Apart from that, honestly, the priority has to be the way we are playing, especially, as everybody keeps saying, how does this team under Khalid Jamil play with not being given the most time? He also has to focus on how does my India team play.
Clipped over the top. It's been a frustrating outing for Manuel Bleda. Number 9 unable to control the ball. He's had to shift out wide all too often as he continues to wait for better service in the box. Changte. Nice little shift onto his left. Apuya available.
As much as we've spoken about the front four or the front three and the movement between them, we also have to speak about Abuya and Anwar Ali in the middle of the park. You can see them with great communication, trying to play one-touch, two-touch football, moving the Hong Kong midfield around. That's good to see.
Hong Kong a little trapped. They have to get out of this little knot. The goalkeeper will clear it away. Excellent win from Jingan, but it falls back to Hong Kong. Here's Wong Wai. Everton Camargo. Wong Wai continues his run, which was smartly tracked by Apuya, who's done an excellent defensive job so far.
That's good work from everybody on the field right now, from the pressure applied on the goalkeeper. Unlucky that Sandesh's header landed to another red shirt, but that's good movement. Listen, tracking back. Apuya also making sure his man and his marker doesn't get away from him. Sliding tackle coming in, gives away a corner, but great defensive work from all of them.
Wong Wai with the ball in, straight to Anwar Ali.
Set piece delivery is something that Hong Kong will definitely look to do better in the second half.
Barak. It was a peeling run out wide, but too high to reach as Nok Hung made his way forward from his centre-back's position. Gurpreet just being reminded to keep things rolling. Abhimite and Changte looking very good on the same side of the pitch.
When you look at this side, Melissa, I think the roles of every individual is clearly told to the player, and Ryan Williams, by the looks of it, has been given the free role to operate in the attacking third. Champe, Abhi on one wing, Liston and Akash on the other.
Yellow card comes out as Bleda had to stop Liston Colasso from getting into fourth gear.
frustration, trying to find that pass on the wing. But the frustration clearly being seen from Bleda. He just wants to clip Liston, stop him anyhow, somehow. On that occasion, does stop him, but goes into the referee's book also with a yellow.
Maybe the last play of this half in this particular set piece. Bongchuk just arranging his back line. A couple of deliveries that Changte's sent have been quite decent. Good ball once more. Here's Chingan with the recovery. Now Apuya and Liston. There's the shift. There's the other shift. And the cross is high towards Changte. Touched out for another corner. India finished the half very strongly. And the referee says enough for now. Ryan Williams with his first shot in India's blue has scored his first goal to give the Blue Tigers a 1-0 lead against Hong Kong. Anwar Ali in midfield in a new role alongside Apuya, but is the front four which has looked fluid and dangerous for Khalid Jamil's men. But it's only half the job done. At the break, it's India 1, Hong Kong 0, as we take a look at the highlights as well. It was a fast start. There is always the demand in Kochi. It gets the crowd going, it gets everyone watching going, and then can seep into the performance, Robin. And the demand of a fast start was actually delivered by India.
It was the need of the hour to start the game quick, and quick was it. Manveer on the right wing, just putting that ball into the on-running Ryan Williams to score with his first touch in the colours of the Indian national team, and a brilliant way to get India, and a clever way to get India into the lead in the first half. Just 4 minutes onto the clock, and Ryan Williams scores on his debut.
Few set pieces as well. This is Changte with the first one, where Sandesh Chingan just pointed to Anwar Ali as to why he wasn't chasing it down. But it's looking really good, and especially moves like these. How beautiful is that?
Brilliant ball from Ryan, and then the ball moving on to Manveer with the weight of the pass from Manveer to find Changte with his first touch. Brilliant. Changte's first touch, just taking him a little away from the mouth of the goal, but nonetheless a shot. But Gurpreet at the back as well. He's also been commanding cut-out attacks every time Hong Kong has tried to attack him.
Once again, this was Williams with a clever... He could have been set up as well by Changte, but as soon as he'd opened his body up, he was always going to try and wrap his boot around it. It's also about the recovery. Apuya's had an excellent first 45.
Brilliant defensive play from Apuya, and then that shot coming in, trying to test the Hong Kong goalkeeper, but nothing coming off it. And probably one of the most dangerous attacks, if you want to call it so, from Hong Kong, but Gurpreet standing tall to it as well.
First yellow card of the evening when Bleda brought down Liston Colasso, was trying to make that pass forward. This is the story so far. India with a narrow lead, but a confident lead, outpassing their opponents, but more importantly, outscoring them. We'll take a quick break. On the other side of it, it's the second half.
See Mr. Colosso right behind him, excited that India have a goal to the name. Rahul Peke, Akash Mishra, everybody happy just for themselves and also for Ryan Williams, who had to wait for his opportunity to play for the national side, and now he's come in flying.
He's come in and he's also given a very good pep talk from the looks of it. And the chewing gum chewing assassin already scoring his first, getting off the mark in 4 minutes. Now Hong Kong have to offer something different. Oliver Jerbig has made his way out. Luis Eduardo, number 5, has been brought in place of him. Wonder if there's going to be a change in the shape, but it looks very much a like-for-like replacement. Obviously nothing on the line in terms of going forward from here, but when it comes to international football, any good result is a good result, whether it's a friendly or a competitive game. And so 45 more minutes for India to get their first international win in Kochi, which is one of their most proudest stadiums when it comes to setting an atmosphere. And who knows, if they take the 3 points from this and get their first win of this qualifying campaign, which has been full of negative headlines, then at least they can say they finished strong. And Kochi will have a case to make in the future to host more games. As long as they're all games and not press conferences which get cancelled, should be fine. Here's Ryan Williams, ball just going out of play.
I'm sure Kochi will like to keep the doors open for every other friendly or every other national team match that comes in for the Indian team, or any other match that they can host in the years to come, in the days to come, or whenever the possibility arises.
And the doors should always be open for a national team member of any sport, is the general understanding, Robin. Sometimes it's different down south.
Maybe it was a push though that we were trying to pull.
Khalid Jamil's men have pushed when they've gone forward and pulled the strings in midfield, with Apuya having an excellent first 45. Ryan Williams just waiting in dangerous areas, just anticipating where it might drop for him and anticipating well at that. Came under pressure from Camargo and takes a bit of a knock to his ankle.
Ryan Williams is trying to fight for that ball in that corner, not being able to keep it completely under control. Trying to jink his way left to the right. Just getting a little bit hurt in the process, but back to his feet. And he'll want to continue the same way, maybe add another goal to his tally and help India with a bit of breathing space from this 1-0 scoreline.
Well, one back by Peke. Liston for Williams, who's just been driven wide and then shrugged away. Looks like it's gone Hong Kong, China's way. In fact, Liston trying to take it quickly.
Ryan Williams is trying to earn that foul again in the first few moments of this second half. The referee having nothing off it, both the players fighting for that ball, trying to get that ball under their control, be it anyhow.
Oh, Apuya with a bit of a Shaolin soccer move. It's good to see India's players have a little fun as well with the ball. They seem a little less tense. Another next stage in the maturity, not just of this team, Robin, but even as a country watching football and playing football, is to replicate this kind of performance in a competitive, decent game where the stakes are higher.
I think it's always important, Pula, to show your capability, especially in a country like ours, That's beautiful football, by the way. Moving the ball forward.
Akash Mishra trying to flick it in towards Changte as well. Might have just been saved from going out for a corner. Referee's waiting what to give. Should just be a throw in, it seems.
Akash on that wing trying to whip that ball in early. Questions of a handball as well, but finally a corner gets given. I'm going to come back to my point after the set piece, Pola, because it's important, because I love this confidence that the national team's showing, especially Apuya, and the way the skill like an Apuya has is also because of the kind of footballers we watch. And if you ask the younger generation what kind of footballers they watch, I'm sure not a lot of them are going to stay Steven Gerrard or the likes. They're always going to take names like a Neymar or a Dembele or all of these players that come under a flair of, as such.
Peke's long throw in. Chance to take another shot. Hong Kong, China overpowered. Akash Mishra with a blinder from an acute angle. And India doubled their advantage. Throw in a corner, it doesn't matter. It's a goal, 2-0.
That's a brilliant finish coming from Akash. Rahul Bege with the long throw. Hong Kong, China not being able to deal with it. With a brilliant finish. Not the easiest of finish. Does well to hit it towards the ground. Asking the questions of the Hong Kong defense. But the only answer to that shot is a goal coming for Akash Mishra. Credit to him. He's also waited for his opportunity in the national team, and it's come with a goal to his name as well. Brilliant finish. The breathing space that the national team was looking for, India was looking for, has finally come.
Goal. The national in his 80th appearance. And just did they start the first half so quickly, they've also started the second one almost as quickly. Identical nearly, scoring in the opening 4 minutes of a half. And they want more. Ryan, just a little too lofty for Changte, who still brought it down. And then got it completely wrong as he threw it back in towards Williams.
India surely starting the second half on the attacking foot. Ryan Williams trying to connect the dots, trying to find Changte with that attack. Changte just not being able to wrap his foot around that on that shot, wanting to come to his favourite left foot. But a great start for India in the second half.
Liston. Williams slices that away. Got a bit too excited. Like everyone watching this game and backing the Blue Tigers at this point. Collars up.
And why not? So, 2 goals to show for it. Brilliant start in the second half. Just the way they started the game in the first half. India adding another goal to their 1-0 tally. Now they can maybe show us more of that flair that we saw from Apuya a little while ago.
Hong Kong, China looking for a reply. Unable to find the gap down the right as well. Jojo Alexander, who's been shifted slightly wider after Luis Eduardo was brought in.
That's calm work from Liston. Thought of taking a touch and then letting it run out for a throw in.
Liston for Changte. Abhimithe continues his run. Changte looks in. Ryan Williams waits. Eduardo clears. Here's Anwar Ali. Abhimithe. Now his chance to cross it in. floated over Liston Colasso and then just diverted away from Williams.
This is good, Pulasta. India just piling the pressure on, trying to just keep Hong Kong, China pinned into their own defensive third. Another opportunity now for Rahul Beke to come in with a long throw.
Excellent way to mark his return to full fitness. And it almost seems as if Akash Mishra has a couple of gears more in terms of regaining his full fitness. But even then, he is very useful. And given the competition among the full-back positions in Indian football, he still remains to be the number one choice. Williams with the ball in, easy for Bongchuk. It's not the greatest of touches from Apuya. Could have kept it simpler if he just cleared it away with his head. It's those little mistakes which need to be rectified, better decisions made. Wong Wai. Eduardo gets it wrong. Manveer wins the header. Williams tried to flick it back into his path. Good communication as well between Manveer, Changte, Ryan Williams, Liston. It looks cohesive. It looks like the other three are enjoying playing with the one who's just been brought in. It looks like the one who's been brought in is loving it with the other three. Good signs so far.
I think so. I think we needed combinations to be found in the attacking third. After a lot of reliance was on Sunil Chhetri, and I think Khalid Jamil is trying to unlock a new way for the Indian team to play forward, and he's sort of found it with the pace of Ryan Williams, Changte, Liston, adding the physicality of Manveer, who can do better with holding the ball up. But you could see there's this new Blue Tigers way of playing brewing in the future games and in this game as well with the time that's left. So these are positive signs. But this was the attack earlier. You see Manveer won that ball, trying to let that ball run off for Ryan Williams. Just not being able to read each other's run, and obviously I think Khan just feeling the afters of it. Hopefully he'll be okay as well.
Yeah, hopefully nothing too serious, because not a lot of pressure on him. If he's hobbling away, it's okay. The problem is when you feel it later and you can walk it off, but then the ligament will probably snap at some point. Hopefully it's just an impact injury for Nokhang. Difficult not to get carried away every time there's a good performance, a couple of decent goals which India score. So many times this country has taken a step forward and then two backwards when it comes to football, but the expectation always is to keep sauntering ahead, keep marching ahead. Easier said than done.
I think that Pulasa comes from what you were speaking about earlier, the inconsistent game time that the national team gets together, where they haven't been able to find a proper rhythm, a proper pattern of play, and even the boys not being able to spend too much time together. That's one of the reasons why maybe we see a few inconsistent performances from the Indian national team, and the only way around it is to play consistent football whenever the possibility arises.
Vastly important for the biggest clubs in the country to think as a unit, to release players on time, sometimes even sacrifice a week or so just in terms of preparation, because the sport as a whole then gathers momentum.
You're absolutely right, Pulasta. I think every time you put on that jersey for the Indian national team, it's a proud moment. And as much as it's about individuals, it's also about all the clubs coming together and holding the nation as the pillar of strength and as the pillar that takes Indian football forward.
Can't really afford to, at this juncture of the sport, have club against country feuds and miscommunication. Apuya and Abhimithe, Liston and Manveer have come into the setup and instantly made it better. Just some of the names who have been missed in the past as Liston tries to win it high up the pitch. Two more changes coming up. Jason Kam and Yu Hei. Jason Kam will also come. Emmanuel Bleda and Wong Wai, along with Jojo Alexander, make way. Once again, doesn't really change the shape of Hong Kong. A defender, midfielder, and a forward taken out. For a defender, midfielder, and a forward as India win this set piece, and it is within shooting range, within Liston range. So Liston Colasso over the wall and straight to the keeper, on target. Decent attempt.
Liston Colasso with that knuckle ball, gets it over the wall, gets it to curl down as well, but not enough to beat Pong Chuk in his goal.
And no changes yet from Khalid Jamil. Likes what he sees, just past the hour mark. Nice little run. They're asking for offside. Might have been the right call anyway. First real involvement of Ngan Pan. Brave approach so far. Wouldn't be surprised if the likes of Roshan came on. Sahal Abdul Samad also in dire need of minutes. Bijoy Verghese could be making his national team debut. Edmund Naldundika is also on the bench available. Ashik Kurunian with his pace. And Khalid Jamil, if he decides to, can add a lot more firepower to what is already looking like a good setup so far. But surely minutes have to be managed. The team is also mid-season.
I think, in my opinion, Edmund, with the way he's got his season at club level, should be given an opportunity to come on and show his capabilities in national team colours. Ashik, another winger that will be direct, maybe an opportunity for him to come on and play. And in the middle of the park where you've got Anwar, who's in a new position, maybe change him and bring on an out-and-out centre midfielder in the likes of Sahal, maybe an attacking threat.
Yeah, Anwar Ali just a couple of times now playing back a slightly loose pass. Still not very sharp in his position as Ryan Williams gives his quad a little rub, trying to wake it up. Hopefully nothing too serious. Peke longer this time. Here's Liston. Gurpreet puts it out wide towards Chante. Anwar Ali, two-handed push right in front of the ref.
Centre-back's midfield tackle, if you want to call it that. just trying to stop the attack any way that he could. But that's good work there. Anwar Ali not letting Hong Kong, China find any rhythm in their play.
It's good defending, just forcing Hong Kong to play that long. Of course, credit to the defense as well, but Hong Kong, China should have been doing slightly better with whatever little chances they've had. Haven't really offered a challenge to India so far.
Exactly so. For that, credit has to be given to both Rahul and Sandesh for leading the line very well.
And just as we said that, Hong Kong, China have got one back and they found the gap between both the centre-backs. The one time they got away, Everton, Camargo finding the back of the net and robbing Gurpreet and the back line of a clean sheet.
Everton Camargo, who's looked their most dangerous player in this game, makes a brilliant run between Sandesh and Rahul Beke. Gurpreet also got no man's land, didn't come out to collect it, tried to narrow the angle, but clever finish coming in from Everton to just put it past Gurpreet and the defensive line from India. First touch finish coming and giving Hong Kong a slender way back into this competition, into this game at the moment, with just a 1-goal lead in front of them now, but a great finish nonetheless.
24 games, 12 goals for Everton as Liston makes his way forward, tries a curler, and the keeper saw it just bounce past him.
This is the last trying to bring the 2-goal lead back to India. Not too far away, had the keeper jumping, trying to cut off the angles, trying to make sure that the ball doesn't creep into his net.
Now Williams is down and he needs to be taken off. It looks like the quad, just slightly to the side as well. Also precautionary maybe, taking him off.
I was just about to say the same thing. Well, I think it's also a bit of caution from the national team. Obviously, the team doctor, C.B. George, one of the best in the country, will not risk it. The club will not want him to risk it either. He's had a great minutes that he's been on.
Now this is the problem. And this is when India start to get nervous. And possibly their best attacker going off injured. A little pressure building after the taking a 2-0 lead and expecting to make it 3-0, 4-0. Hong Kong, China have fought back. And now it's a test of maturity. Yes, they've been entertaining, they've been fluid, they've been fast. Can they be clinical enough though and put this game to bed?
I think to put this game to bed, Pula, you need to bring on another number 10, and you've got somebody like a Sahal on the bench for you. Bring him on, play that number 10, give him that free role where he thrives the most at a ground. For a team that he's thrived the most, I think the right change could be for Sahal to come on, but the player on the ground this time is Anwar, so it'll be interesting to see what Khalid Jamil does.
Let's see how it happened though. There's that sprint. That's the offside call, which seems to be right. And he's just pulled up Anwar Ali just as that sprint ended and the flag went up. And another change.
This gets interesting because if you see Pulas, where the physios are icing him as well, it's the quad. So this is definitely an issue of tiredness coming in, of fatigue coming in for a shorter season where games are quicker. That's closer to the hip flexor and the groin. So this is definitely something that neither Anwar Ali nor Khalid Jamil want to risk for themselves. Make those changes, have fresh legs, and exactly so coming in now.
And Jeekson and Ashik will be the players coming on. Local boy. Has had his fair share of misses and important ones in big games for India. He'll want to put that behind him. A little bit of personal redemption on the cards. Jeekson possibly more comfortable in his midfielder's role, even though he's played in various positions for Oscar Bruzon and his red and gold brigade. Abhimithe for Changthim. Here's Ashik. Straight away with a drilled effort towards Pongchuk.
That's a great effort, Pola, but it'll remain to be seen. Does he occupy that number 10 position, or does Changte come into that and make Ashik an out-and-out winger? Because that's where Ashik thrives the most, but at the moment seems to be the number 10.
Yeah, Manveer continues to be furthest forward. And this is now the duality of being an Indian football fan after cheering their lungs out for 2 goals. The first one of which, of course, was a slice of history and a very memorable one. A second one which should have been a sign of comfort. Hong Kong, China getting 1 goal back, and India losing Anwar Ali and Ryan Williams to injuries. But they keep coming. Here's Changte. Manveer. Ashik. Again, very well constructed.
That's a great move from India again, laying the ball off with each other, moving the ball quickly. On that occasion, Changte and Manveer setting that ball up for Ashik, but this time probably should have gone for the laces, trying to curl that ball with the inside of his foot, and unluckily for him, he also gets a deflection that leads to a corner.
I thought he would go for power. Great pass appreciation from Manveer as well, in the way he set up Ashik. Now Liston with a corner. Oh, it's a stinging ball in, and it could have gone anywhere. Looks like the last touch once again came off Akash Mishra.
It could have gone anywhere. Luckily for Hong Kong, China just towards the goalkeeper.
Abhimithe. Ashik instantly in the thick of things. Third attempt in as many minutes. Ashik Kurunian is a man on a mission.
His mission is finding the back of the net, Pula. That's the only thing that he has on his mind. At the moment, it's like a heat-seeking missile only wanting the back of the net. That's all he wants tonight.
Just enjoy the Koshi atmosphere as well. At a time when it's not the Kerala Blasters on the pitch, it's Team India. With what could be about 20 nervy minutes if they can't score another goal. Akash Mishra. And on the afterburners, it was an awkward little fall. And let's hope it's not the knee that Mishra's just repaired over the best part of a year. Robin, you have a look at this.
Oh, that's not nice. Hopefully, Akash is strong enough. And it's not bad. And by the looks of it, with the magic spray, that's just his ankle. So, you know, trying to find something out of the ordinary, some positive from that tackle. That is just his ankle and not his knee.
Just wondering, because of how immediate the reaction was, must have been an instant swelling. Let's have a look at the ankle. Let's hope it's not the knee.
Yeah, from that fall, when you look at it, it just gets trapped underneath the defender. That was Jojo on that occasion who came in sliding and just traps Akash Mishra's trailing leg underneath him. The first signal from the team doctors was a change, but you could see he wants to run it off, which could be a good idea at the moment. You know, ankle injuries from experience, a lot of us just want to run it off rather than sit on it where the swelling just comes in all of a sudden. Trying to bear weight on it, trying to put weight on it really quickly so that it doesn't swell up.
Has given the green light to continue. And Jojo Alexander also looks okay. And just caught a stray hand in the face. Nothing too serious for him. Khalid Jamil also just getting feedback from Mishra if he's okay to continue, but he might dip into his bench again as we take a drinks break on the 75th minute mark. It's been a little busy for the medical staff of the Blue Tigers. And this, of course, is now an important time for Mr. Losada to make his point heard for Hong Kong, China. Just a goal in this. Both teams desperate to start strong, which didn't happen because of this. Abhimithe with wonderful weight on that from Manveer, and then take it away, Robin.
Brilliant finish coming in. No matter how many times you see this finish from Ryan Williams, just keeps getting better and better. A thing of beauty. Ryan Williams waited for his opportunity and then scored his goal. And then Akash Mishra also scoring his first goal in national team colours, and a great finish, an awkward bounce, but he did ever so well to get on top of that with the side volley and hit it into the ground before it hit the back of the net for the Indian national team, getting a 2-goal lead or cushion at that point of time.
And this is, of course, Hong Kong China's goal. Everton Camargo just had to get something on it, and he got enough on it and kept it low. Keep it under Gurpreet.
Sunday is trying ever so hard to put it in that sliding tackle. Gurpreet caught in no man's land, came out of his box to narrow the angle, but couldn't save at both occasions. But while we watch that replay, India have got a corner to their name.
Going to be Liston. Manveer has made that run towards the near post. Almost got a very meaningful touch onto it. Now Ashik. A nice little swivel and a spin away from his first man, but then that run was quickly stopped. Lam Ting has come on for Hong Kong China meanwhile in place of Barak. Here's Changte. Liston. Whipped in. And nobody's attacking that.
Manveer has to take that gamble when he knows his teammate Liston's going to try ever so hard to whip that ball in. It was whipped in a dangerous position as well. Manveer has to gamble on that. He's not had too many opportunities to get at the end of crosses, but for 90 minutes or no matter how long you stay on the pitch, you have to keep doing the simple things right. You have to keep gambling at opportunities.
Over the top. Easy for Beke that. Now Avimite. Ashik. And given away cheaply. Won back expertly. And recycled with poise by Apuya.
It's been a good game by Apuya, always an option available to his teammates to pass the ball or bounce it off him, especially in defensive duties. He's put in a few important interceptions on crosses as well. He's had a good game so far, Apuya.
Jojo Alexander. Kamago. Clipped by Mishra. And these are the kind of situations India do not want to get themselves into.
Mishra a little over-eager to win that ball off Everton Kamago. Akash knows he's dangerous on the ball, just wanted to win that, but gives away a free kick in a dangerous position.
Kamago takes great shape on that, and fortunately for Gurpreet, the header straight at him.
Great ball whipped in from Everton, and Gurpreet lucky, as you said, that the ball just coming right towards him. India have to be careful to not give these needless free kicks away in dangerous positions. Great power on the ball. Great header coming in as well. Luckily, just straight in the hands of Gurpreet. But this is where India also have to do better. Like, there's too much space when those set pieces come in. Every man has to be aware of where their man is.
Liston sprang right up after taking a tumble. There was a great header, of course, from Jason Kam. Another throw in. India have made it quite difficult for Hong Kong, China to defend these set pieces. Roberto Losada and his staff still think there is a way back. We're into the last 10 minutes. Holding on is one task, but India are going for the kill. This one's towards Chingan, who had to turn away. And just in that process, there was a foul inside the area.
Ashik again finishing that ball off. Yes, the whistle was blown, but India will keep pushing for this 8 minutes plus added on time to maybe get another goal, or as the clock winds down, somewhere tactically change it to a defensive shape where they can continue with this 2-1 scoreline and get a win under their belt, their first.
More chances for Hong Kong, China to attack, making inroads then. Very evident when Abhimite took the ball forward and had no support.
I'll be trying to build a counter-attack, but nobody up front. And now even Abhi on the floor. Akash Mishra, by the looks of it, is the change. Pula, and I think the injury, what he tried to run off, is still hurting.
Yeah, Roshan will get a few minutes. He's been in decent form as well. Also kills the clock a little. Fresh legs to chase down Hong Kong, China. And they've also shown some promise. The team in red, especially in the second 45, and getting that goal, just given them some confidence, made a game out of this. One-way traffic up until the point they scored the goal. Yeah, Indian football fans won't mind that, but no one mind a little test as well to see how far the team can take this. Excellent touch from Ashik to find Changte, who was brought down.
Again, Pulasta, as soon as the ball reaches the attacking third, you can see that fluidity in play. Changte, on that occasion, gets clipped in the middle of the park, but that's good to see again. Just players in the attacking third laying the ball off for each other, continuing those runs, always being available to get a bounce off each other. This is great play in the attacking third from India.
Liston. Ashik over the top for Liston. Was sent one down the floor and almost set up Ashik Kurunian for what would have been another incredible move. Just the finishing touch lacking.
Ashik, who began that move, Liston with a clever dummy, setting that up again for Ashik Kurunian. As we said earlier, he's got one thing on his mind. He wants that goal. He began that attack and almost finished it off with a side-footed finish. And luckily for him, another Hong Kong defender in the middle of his path again.
It's remarkable, Robin. This might possibly be Ashik Kurunian's best 20-odd minutes in an India shirt. He's not scored a goal, but in whatever he's doing, wow, it's so meaningful at this. He deserves a goal. And knowing how football gods usually preside, he might not get it.
And Ashik Kurunian in the middle of the attack again, in the middle of everything again, this time gives away a foul. But the way he's played in this 20-odd minutes, Pula, you're absolutely right. If anyone deserves a goal, it has to be Ashik. The trailing arm by Ashik himself, giving away at that foul.
Need more urgency, Hong Kong, China, if they want to take something back home from Kochi.
I was just about to ask you the same thing. How long before Roberto Lasara decides, right, let me throw the kitchen sink at India? There's nothing to lose. Both these teams not qualifying, but can we threaten this Indian backline some more?
Jojo Alexander leaves the ball behind. Here's Everton Camargo, the goal scorer. Good movement this. Yuhei. Oh, Gurpreet had to palm that away. Jojo Alexander once more, this time blocked by Roshan.
Gurpreet with that save earlier, palms it away from the traffic, and then Hong Kong, China gaining a corner.
India have numbers at the back. Changte. Now they need numbers going forward. Here's Manveer. Surely there's an option on the far side. Changte is there, and he went for the shot. Manveer chose the number 7 over Ashik Kurunian, who was also arriving from the right. Another chance set up, another chance which hasn't hit the back of the net.
Manveer had the option. Even Changte with that first touch, he gives the option for the defender to come and close him down. Maybe just a jink of the shoulder, pull that ball back, and you had Ashik right beside you. But with the pace of the game, Changte wanted to get that shot off, which was also his last involvement.
Changte is going off, which means it is time for Bijoy to get his first appearance in India's blue. That's a lot of solidity, a lot of aerial prowess to protect this narrow advantage. Immediately wins the ball back. Here's Beke. Waiting for Roshan. Beke with a smart change of direction. And just floated over Manveer. Bright idea.
Good idea from Rahul Beke just to whip that ball in from a different angle. I'm sure he was probably trying to aim towards the far post for that run that came in from Ashik. Put it straight into the hands of the goalkeeper at that point, but it's good work again, India, not just wanting to sit back and soak in the pressure.
Yuhei has found Everton. All the changes looking good from Hong Kong, China. One back by Bijoy, smashes it away. Manveer, the lone man up front. Hong Kong, China down the left this time, low ball. One of the 7 minutes of added time are past us.
Probably going to be a nervy 6 minutes for Khalid Jamil, because as we started, this could be an evening of a lot of firsts. This could be a first win for Khalid Jamil since taking over as head coach in last August.
And not been lucky on home soil so far. The wins he had came, of course, in the Kafa Nations Cup against Tajikistan. And Hong Kong, China looked to spoil the party. Got enough of the ball. Bijoy out for a corner.
Brilliant tackle from Bijoy. Hong Kong, China trying to pile the pressure on. Roshan playing the man on, but Bijoy not asked, not waiting for the flag, not waiting for anything, but just eyes on the ball to make sure he can put that tackle in.
Chingan well placed. And the clearance fell on the left side of Everton Camargo, who is usually way more punishing than that. Fans getting in on the act. Demanding a win, appreciating that last-ditch challenge from Bijoy as well. I like him in these parts of the country. Oh, Manveer didn't know that that ball bounced off Liston. Good cover from Cheekson.
I'm sure it will be a proud moment, not just for Bijoy. Time on free kicks and every stoppage that they can get under their control, to get this win under their belt.
Picked up by Liston. Liston and Manveer have had a great game. Liston always threatening. Manveer's positioning has been smart. It's been selfless, trying to set up goals, allowing the other wide forwards to take centre stage. Ashik again urged to shoot when there was an obvious pass available for Abhimitay. He should have made the right decision, and that is something that has haunted Ashik in his career, decision making.
I can understand the hunger and desire for Ashik to get on the score sheet, but that's where you need to show a bit of calmness, a bit of maturity. You've hit Hong Kong, China on the counter. You've got options available. You've got to learn to use them. The decisions definitely have to be better.
Abhimitay solid at the back.
As we mentioned earlier, another strong candidate alongside Apuya for player of the match. He's also had a brilliant game as fullback, Abhimitay.
The Hong Kong get ready as well for a long throw in. Chan Shin-chi winds up his shoulder strength. Abhimitay went up. Awkward bounce. India get a free kick. And Bijoy was brave in the box, putting his head where it hurts.
India not being able to clear their lines on the first go, but Bijoy Varghese has just come on, brave enough to put his head in, and also gets Luis Eduardo in the referee's book with a yellow.
Well, a win will still keep India at the bottom of the group due to their head-to-head being a draw and a loss against Bangladesh. Those are the two results which hurt the Blue Tigers the most. They're getting undone by the plucky neighbours in what was seen as an easy qualifying group. But here's the understanding. Every country in Asia continues to keep better. India must not get stuck. And this win will hopefully give enough encouragement to those making decisions right on the top to make the right ones.
I think at the end, Pula, what's most important is Indian football should always be a priority. Whoever's making decisions wherever, one thing that has to always be certain is football wins. That has to be the case.
Full time. India win for the first time in Kochi. An incredible 2-1 win which was kick-started by Ryan Williams, who stamped his brand new passport with a goal with his first shot. And then they scored another one right at the start of the second period when Akash Mishra smashed home from an acute angle. Everton Camargo got a goal back for Hong Kong, China, but it was not enough. And in what has been a dismal campaign of disappointment, there is some celebration right at the end of it all. Khalid Jamil also gets his first win on home soil. And may this spark the nation into action in talking about this global sport in which they need to get better. At full time in Kochi, it ends India 2, Hong Kong, China 1. Let's take a look at the highlights. Nothing on the line here, but a lot of pride. And Robin, also a new approach. What would Khalid Jamil do with this setup?
We saw a new setup from Khalid Jamil, and it almost instantly paid off with 4 minutes on the clock. Ryan Williams stamps his passport and gets on the score sheet with his first touch of the game. It's his first goal in the Indian national team colours, and an all-important goal that India always want to be scoring first. Hong Kong did threaten a little bit in the first half, but Gurpreet, dominant as ever in his box, made sure that the scoreline stays at 1-0 for the moment. Apoya also threatened with a shot, but that effort was always curling away from the Hong Kong-China goal.
He had an incredible game, Apoya. Pulling all the strings in midfield, always available for his teammates as an out ball, always making sure the right passes, the right decisions were made, and enough defensive tracking back. And this was the second one, Akash Mishra, instinctive. Difficult to score this, Robin.
Absolutely, as I said, he did ever so well to make sure that he hits that on the side wall. He puts it down towards the ground, making it difficult for the goalkeeper to get anything onto it, and also getting his first goal. A lot of firsts tonight, and Akash Mishra also getting his first goal, and then the knuckle ball that we know ever so well that Liston knows how to get it up and over, almost got on the score sheet. And then the one opportunity that Barak got for Everton Camargo, Everton clever enough to finish that ball with his first touch for a no man's land, stranded Gurpreet, and a sliding Sandesh Jingun could not even stop to get 2-1 and Hong Kong back into this game.
That's the only time, in fact, where the positioning was slightly wrong and Hong Kong China taking advantage of it. Then this header, which came in from Jason Camp, straight to Gurpreet. Yu Hei, who was also brought on, testing Gurpreet properly for the first time, and he was on hand to deliver routine save in the end for him, and India had done enough to beat their opponents. Excellent mood and atmosphere in Kalur, something which has been missing in the domestic club season, but is very evident when the Blue Tigers play. As we take a look at the match statistics, 15 shots, 5 of them on target. You can see that one team had more dominance when it came to attacking football. Hong Kong China were under the cosh for long periods, but that one goal that they got back made things nervous for them. India still at the bottom despite the equal goal difference, and that is because head-to-head is the first tiebreaker. The draw and the defeat against Bangladesh undoing this campaign in a big way. But thankfully, at least, Robin, they get a first win.
I think this is going to be a positive for India. As I said, you know, when your back's against the wall, there's nothing to lose. And Khalid Jamil putting out an attacking lineup tonight got pressure relieved by getting the first goal from Ryan Williams, and Akash Mishra also getting a goal. Great defensive work from Apoya and Anwar Ali in the middle of the park with the pace of Changte and Liston in the middle on the wings, proving it difficult for Hong Kong China to find it difficult for them to stop. But these fans will be happy. 10 years in 2 days and counting since football came back to Kerala, and now they've marked it with a win.
They're just waiting, of course. There might be an Akash Mishra interview, so for those of you watching, stick around if you want to hear from India's second goal scorer, who in fact got his first in this jersey. But it was not just about the goals, Robin, it was also about the other moves which did not end up as goals. There were some really good moves, very good intricate movement between Liston, Ashik, Manveer. They all got involved India could have had 3 or 4 really good-looking goals.
100%. I think Ashik, when he came on, he had 3 shots back to back that was either blocked or, not on target. But apart from that, Ashik came on and was attacking. Manveer's first time layoffs with the weight of pass for his teammates was brilliant. Ryan Williams also trying to find opportunities to get a goal. Apuya's shot as well. So they've been great opportunities for India also to get back into the game, and the 15 shots that we saw, 5 on target, were prime examples of this. But for me, this is how it all started. This ignited that fire in the belly of the